Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Wesam's World. It's me, Wesam, your host, your guide through this hour of love, wisdom, and fun, and coziness. With me in the studio, as always, is my main man, a.k.a. Little Pee-Pee, a.k.a.
Lil Wee Wee.
That's me.
That's you.
I hate that name. We got Peyton in the house. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
That's
the
good.
The ear's a lot better.
Good.
Yeah.
We can talk about it on the show now?
Oh, well. I don't know.
You brought it up.
I know I brought it up, but yeah, now that I think about it, hey, we'll just leave that part and the rest is a mystery to everyone else.
Sounds great, man.
Sounds good.
And also, a.k.a. Den Mother.
Den Mother?
a.k.a. the lady with the plan. I thought that was going to rhyme. It doesn't rhyme at all.
No.
Alex, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I got my contacts in and they're feeling a little dry, so I feel like I'm doing that weird thing where people think, oh, that celebrity's been taken over by a lizard because, like, you blink weird.
Ah, yes.
Like, no, it's just my contacts.
Gosh, that's good.
And with me in the studio today is friend, BJJ partner. I have to be really careful when I say that. BJJ partner.
That one never gets old.
So talented musician. So talented. You like that grammar?
I liked it.
Amazing surfer.
Thanks. Wow.
And now with a new single coming out in January, Nathan Harrington. I had to look down like there was more information, but then it looks like I'm looking for your name.
We've reached the end of the paper here.
Dude, I've missed you.
Dude, likewise. Seriously.
Yeah?
We've both been on like kind of journeys the past couple months too.
We're holding hands, feeling each other's energies. This is the old school Beanie Bros right
That's
here.
it.
You guys knew we were in yoga teacher training program together, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. No, I just want to.
Yeah.
I was.
Do you want a story about it?
No, I just want to
remember
make
way
sure you
back
guys knew that because.
When Wesam was training, he was on another level, getting that certification.
It's the only person he could stand.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, don't say
I'm
that.
just kidding.
You guys are trying to kill me.
The clash. The clash of the Titans.
What are you doing?
I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit. Oh man, how you been?
Been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just been that end of year crunch,
Okay. There's a few things I want to talk to you about. The first thing, we're going to get into all the music. There's stuff I want to debunk from your perspective as a musician, which I think is really important.
Cool.
I think people romanticize the idea of becoming a musician and thinking that's going to become their life, and then they think it's all going to be glory, even if they're talented.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need your help to really breaking things down and debunking a lot of the myths and the fogginess around it.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Love that.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
The second, I have been so annoyed this week. Surprise. Okay. The Dodgers won the World Series, and I'm not annoyed that they won or that I'm a Yankees fan. I'm annoyed at the people celebrating. Okay?
I'm with you on this.
You're with me?
I'm with you on this.
This is why we're friends.
Yes.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
No.
I especially don't get setting fire to buses.
No.
That's just criminal. Peyton.
It was me, and I'm sorry.
Dude, if I saw you in one of those videos.
Dodgers! Go Dodgers!
But I really don't get the people who are just dancing or setting off fireworks in the streets and like going hardcore like they have stock in the Dodgers baseball team.
Yeah.
Can you help me kind of why do you think people do that?
LA is an interesting city. I mean, I think this happens everywhere. I do think it happens everywhere, but I think here especially, it just like there's a different energy that just heightens with sports, and I think that sports is like such a escape for a lot of people here, and so they just get so involved that like they go crazy, and that's like what I realized too. I was like, the moment that I was watching the game and the moment they won in New York, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be crazy. Probably a week. when they get back after the parade and everything. And sure enough, I was like, oh my gosh, we're setting fire to buses. Everything's going insane. I really don't know probably what really roots from that, to be honest. But I think that I just feel like there's something about LA sports that just makes people go crazy, and they just they really tie themselves to it. It becomes like a part of the culture.
Yeah. The parade is something I don't understand afterwards either. Like, we're doing this again?
You did it!
Yeah. That's good
We
job.
know.
Oh, yeah. Ah!
Yeah.
It's like an excuse just to party.
For sure. No, I don't understand. I mean, I get it to I get it to a degree, but I'm like, there's so much other things going on in the world that we need to be drawing our focus to, and I feel like we just like distract ourselves in a lot of ways with like sports. And
I don't mind, like, in the moment.
yeah,
You know, you're like, oh, we won.
We did it.
Yes.
yeah,
Like, oh, yeah. Oh, cool. But even that, I know I'm not a sports guy, but then afterwards, it's the, hey, we got tickets to the parade. Like, what? What?
it's gonna be awesome. We got tickets to the parade afterwards, the Dodgers themed buffet. It's gonna be a great time, meet and greets and all.
It feels
Yeah, no,
kinda
I agree, dude.
It feels like bread and circus
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
no, 100%.
Distraction.
It is, and I do enjoy sports. I really do. But to a degree, like where it's like the team won, like you said, they won, awesome, they did it. I wake up the next day, maybe I'm like, okay, sweet, there's a little buzz, but I'm not going to any parade. I'm not like, I'm not trying to get a little too crazy.
Did I send the video of me making fun of the people celebrating yesterday in my car?
No.
Okay, it was probably a little mean. I don't know if I should put it on here, to be honest with you.
Lord.
It's really mean.
We're roasting
I'll
the
watch
Dodgers
it
fans
later.
hardcore.
Yeah. It's really mean, and yeah, I was like, I'm gonna post this, and I'm like, oh, better not. You know what? When I felt actually unsafe at a sports event, I felt like I was gonna get stabbed.
Huh.
When I went to England and I went to a Manchester game.
Accurate. Oh my gosh, dude, the sports there are insane. I went to Fulham when I was there last September, and luckily I was at Fulham, but like they do these chants that are like old-timey chants where I'm like, I'm listening to the words they're saying, I'm like, what the? They're like, we're gonna kill you, and I'm like, dude, what? It's pretty yeah, they take sports so seriously, especially the football there is insane. I thought that here was bad, but there it's like, yeah, they're pretty intense. I was like scared to walk back to my car.
Yeah. Luckily, I was wearing the same jersey as the majority of people there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I saw a dude yelling so much, the kid next to him started crying because he was getting scared of the guy next to him.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy was yelling at the other players like they had murdered his family. What is going on with people?
As if he's like the assistant coach and they're gonna listen to him. Why aren't
Yeah.
you? That's the best thing in sports too. Is when people are like, "What? Do that." I'm like, they're not listening to you. Sit down.
Like, kind of a
Crazy.
loser, right?
Yeah, a bit. Sorry,
I'll tell you what.
we're coming hard today.
I am coming in hard, and and I'm gonna get some flack for this next part. Ready? This
Bring
might
it.
be the episode. This might be the episode where we call it quits. I watched different angles, by the way, of this video of the Dodgers fan lighting a firework in the middle of the street, and it explodes a little too early, and his hand's gone.
No way.
Yeah,
that happened
you-
just recently.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I think we need to watch it.
All right.
No, we cannot pull that
can't
up.
watch it.
Watch
We
it.
can't watch it. They're telling me we
Oh,
can't watch
use
it.
your damn brain, Wesam.
can't
We
watch
cannot
it.
show that.
Here's the thing. I don't want to show it on YouTube. I want to show him. There's a difference, Peyton.
That's beautiful.
Please,
Oh my
Nathan.
goodness.
Nathan wants to see it.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Nathan,
I was looking up for. A
That's
different
okay. You'll. It's easily findable on Twitter.
Oh my
I'm telling you, when I've watched this in so many different angles, and it made me think,
first one that came up.
this is crazy.
I put Guy Blows
Oh, whoa, God.
because I was gonna say
Few different options.
blows hand up, but it said Guy Blows. That was the first thing.
That's
Guy Blows.
crazy. That's crazy.
Oh dear.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be intense.
Okay.
Actually, the first one I was
So-
looking up was the guy who can't spell Dodgers, which is hilarious.
I was bringing that up too, which is a great thing. You know what?
I
We'll
can't-
start
I
off a
couldn't
little light
find it.
as
I
this.
can't find it.
Oh, you can't.
I can't find that one.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying.
She'll find it.
I want to see that one.
There's a guy who's climbing on a street sign.
Talk in your microphone, Quiche.
Oh, whoa.
It
Is
is
it not?
angled.
Oh, it's angled. Ah, there we go. This is pretty high-end equipment we have here. Okay. So the guy climbs up on a sign,
Yeah.
and he's trying to write Dodgers on a don't turn left sign, right? Misspells it.
Doggers. D-O-G. Yep. I bet it was that, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, damn it. And he's trying everybody's like booing.
Yeah, he ain't gonna live that one down. He ain't gonna live that one
Bro.
down. That's so funny.
That one's not popping up. So.
That's okay. Well, you know what? We'll find it at some point because we have to see this.
We have to see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, speaking of,
Yeah,
this
you might want to mute it.
World Series celebration.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So they're definitely not going to show this on Fox News, so we might need to find another thing. His hands come, all his fingers are gone. Yeah, there it is. And wabam. Oh, dude. 1 minute you're like, go Dodgers, and then the other second you're like, oh, I don't have a hand anymore.
It's gone.
Dude, can you imagine that shift? Like, yeah, Dodger. I don't have a hand. Fuck, dude. That's nuts. So much
Oh
blood.
my
So
gosh.
much blood, Nathan.
That is horrifying. I can't believe that. I mean, can't believe that. Alcohol
go.
does crazy things.
Okay. That was my annoying week.
Dude, that's pretty crazy. And I'm with you on that, though. Honestly, like, I'm happy to be, especially too going to Little Tokyo now. It's gonna be a breeze. We don't have that Sunday or Friday Dodger traffic anymore.
Yeah.
That was always so fun to deal with.
I got a question to ask you. Shifting a little bit
shift.
to some more positive things.
Beautiful.
You're an extremely talented musician. I got to say
thanks.
that. And my brother's a musician as well.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a personal outside look of what it's like to be a musician. And it's fucking tough.
Yeah.
I want you to debunk some of the I'm literally choking.
I'm kind of choking over here too, dude. I'm with you. We're in this together.
I want you to debunk the romanticized idea of being a musician in LA
Yeah.
and what it's really like for you to sustain that career and also trying to grow it.
Totally.
So what's it like, first and foremost, trying to create just a single from nothing?
Yeah, I think that, I've talked to my dad's a musician as well, so I kind of come from a long line of musicians and true artists. And so we've talked about this a lot, where it's the creating aspect of it is just so beautiful, and it's just something that I'm sure you've experienced too with like acting, where it's just like something overtakes you once you're in the zone. You're like in that flow state, and you can't even really like once after the song's written, you can't even really understand how you got there. In a way, it's like everything just kind of flowed, and sometimes it's not like that, but a lot of the times for my songwriting, it's usually that way, where if it's not really flowing, I kind of will just take a break and step away, and maybe that song doesn't get written altogether. But but yeah, that creative aspect is just so special and sacred, and going into the studio, so much fun, recording the song. It's just such a gift. It's everything that comes after that becomes obviously the true challenge, and that's where like the business aspect comes into play. And I think that you have to know how to be the businessman and the artist, and I kind of figured that out a little later than I like would have wanted to. I'm glad looking back now, that's like some advice I probably would have given my young self, is definitely try to like really be business minded as well on top of the art, because art's not going to carry you all the way there. And I think that the biggest challenge people don't really realize is that it's just a grind. It's an absolute grind, and you see a lot of different artists go on talk shows and they're like, oh my gosh, you're an overnight success. I remember, not that I'm an Iggy Azalea fan, but I remember I was watching an interview with her and Ellen, and she was like, oh, like you're an overnight success, and she was like, no, this has been like decades of work. And that's exactly what it is. I think for most people, I think you get that like that 0.1% of people maybe that get that instant success. But I think for the majority, it's just such a grind, and it takes sacrifice beyond even understanding sacrifice.
Wow.
So it's a lot of hustle for sure.
I want to continue this conversation. We got to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
You panic every time, and I don't understand. This is how we come back, and I'll never understand.
Keep this in.
You stutter, you panic, and I never understand why.
Okay, let me tell you why.
Why?
You want an inside look on my life?
I want to know why.
Okay,
Welcome back,
we're-
everyone, by the way.
Yeah, we're back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you why I have a minor freak out in my head, okay? Just imagine like 20 little Wesams as you're saying this, and I'm going, oh shit, this is actually really good stuff. In the corner of my eye, I see Alex go, like, slightly like forgetting to grab the piece of paper to show that the time is up.
He's
And then
blaming me.
hold on, and you're going, sorry. And then I'm like, shit. And now, as I'm listening to you, trying to stay connected, I hear Peyton's voice going, ugh, this is going to be a bitch to edit. God, he needs to just jump in right now.
Oh, yeah, you know as I talk.
He needs to jump in right now. Gosh. Jump in now, Quiche. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, shut the fuck up. We're going to take a commercial break. Damn it, stop. That's what's going on in my mind.
Damn.
I'll try to calm that down for our next commercial break.
I'll smile more.
That sounds great. And guess what?
Collaboration.
We'll see what happens. And I've got a great idea. I'll pay for it. I'm going to buy a giant clock right behind you guys. That's counting down.
That's beautiful. That would look good.
So that's on me. Nathan, welcome to Wesam's world. Shit.
I love it here.
Okay. Oh, I love everybody. So, what?
The grind.
The grind.
The grind. The hustle.
Guys, this is so hard sometimes. Like, I'm trying to be serious now, and it's not going to happen. Hey, being a musician's hard, right?
I'm sure it's really hard for you, buddy.
Oh, man. Oh, shit, dude. I'm so warm right now. Okay. Let's jump back into this if we can, okay? Here's a question that I want to actually get deeper into. What the fuck is the business side? Because when people talk about that, I don't, like, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
And is that putting your music on Spotify and hoping people play it without any kind of marketing, or do you try to like post regularly in hopes that it becomes viral, or do you a thing where you go to a sync website hoping people buy royalties for your music? Like, what's your trajectory with your business side of your music career?
I feel like there's a lot of different paths for sure with that. I think going back on kind of what I was saying, it's like I wish I had known a little earlier. And what I mean by that is definitely utilizing kind of like the free platforms, like obviously like TikTok, Instagram, and stuff like that. I was never really the biggest social media fan. I was like, oh, the music will be enough. It'll always shine through. And while it's, I think, important to have incredible like tracks and stuff like that, it's just not enough in today's climate to really like put you on. So I think it's, utilizing those apps like TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, and really pushing yourself into the algorithm by like, posting consistently is really important. But then on the music end, there's an algorithm with Spotify too. So when you're uploading songs, you might, similar to videos, like you'll upload 1, 2, 3 songs. Maybe it's not connecting to the algorithm. You can apply for playlists when you put the song out, but again, that's kind of like, again, plays into the algorithm situation. And then maybe song 4 hits, and then that's all you need for people to be like, oh, he has other stuff, I'm gonna go back and look at the catalog. And then moving forward, maybe 5, 6 doesn't hit, but 7 song hits, and you get like 100,000 million. Awesome if you get a million, but listens. So it's like you're kind of playing the gamble game with that too a little bit. But yeah, just trying to get on playlists is huge, I think, for artists, and getting like the pre-saves also is really important, because that kind of can determine a lot for, I think, the Spotify algorithm. When you get those pre-saves from people, they're like, oh, people are interested, that we should take note of this. There's definitely like a big mind, I realize, behind all of that, behind those platforms.
What do you mean by that? A big mind?
Like kind of like that, where it's like, oh, they notice certain things. Like even on TikTok, it's like when people are bookmarking your post, or resharing it, like those are more valuable almost than likes in some way, or comments. So it's like the more you can get those attractive numbers on their platforms, is the more likely, I think, that you're going to get the opportunity. They're going to put you out in front of as many people as possible, which is really cool. So that's definitely a big part of it. I think also building a good team is super important. I've gone through a lot of different teams over the years, and it's like I've come to find that having the smaller numbers is the best case, actually. Like, I think a lot of different people in play can make it a little more complicated, and it's just a lot of minds trying to work on one thing. But I think that having a good manager is super important. Having a good partner as well. I have a great partner that's my producer, engineer, Jim Kaufman, and he's just been a phenomenal guy for the past like 3-4 years. We've been working together and putting out some really cool stuff. So it's been a great like development too over the past few years, of really finding like exactly what I wanted out of the music and like my music and my craft. So I'm happy that we finally kind of found that place. It took a lot of time. Obviously, the pandemic too was a big distraction from that path. But we landed where we needed to land when we needed to be there.
Yeah. During I feel like an artist's life, or even a creative's process, everybody has faced this aspect of it, the negative voice.
Yeah.
So how do you kill that negative voice in your head?
Ooh, it's challenging. I think it's a constant discipline of something you got to face all the time. I mean, it's going to come up. There's going to be those highs and lows, and I'm sure you experience this too, where it's like it's something you got to be kind of stiff-arming from time to time, especially in those moments where it's like just you're hitting that flat zone, and you're like, oh gosh, I feel like, where's the momentum kind of thing. And I think that for me, that's something that I've realized in the past few months recently, as I've gotten a little more active on social media, is that kind of a way for me to kill that is to keep building some kind of momentum, doing some kind of like action towards the craft each week. If it can, multiple times a week. I'm trying to at least like, get stuff out like 2 times a week, some quality posts. And on top of that, continue writing, booking different spaces that are like interesting to shoot cool content. Like, it's become more of a business for me than it ever has before in that regard, where it's like I'm really investing a lot more in that aspect of like the social aspect of the craft. But I think that by doing that, I can like kind of go to sleep at night and be like, okay, I'm taking one step further every day, rather than like just being like like I was before, just like the music will be enough, and like posting moderately, whatever.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Doing something a little, one step every day, at least one step, and that eventually adds up to a lot of mileage.
Totally. I think that's the biggest thing, and I was just recently reflecting on this like just a couple of days ago of the successes I've had in my career. It's been, I'm so grateful for where it's already gone. Obviously it's like I'll always want more, as the human condition is. But just from how much I've done already, it's like been such a gift and blessing. But I was trying to look into those times and see how I got to those places. And I noticed it's, what it was momentum. Is like, and it's in that time, maybe I wasn't doing exactly what I'm doing now, but like it was a lot of like I was in positions where I was putting myself out to a lot of different people, where it was like, oh, another opportunity came, oh, that one didn't work out, but I made those connections from that, and that led to this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And then so because I was like just putting myself out there. It was just opening myself up to a lot of different things, which was cool. And that's why, I mean, I looked at it, I'm like, that's why I landed the things I did. So I'm trying to recreate that mentality of success in my current situation.
Gotcha. To kind of put it into a little bit of a visual standpoint, because I'm big on visuals.
Yeah.
It's very similar to how I was doing things when I first moved out to LA. I was trying all these different paths. Like I was going, hey, yeah, I'll be in your web series. Yeah, I'll meet up with this person. So like it would just branch out in different ways.
Yeah.
And a lot of them would be dead ends, but then all of a sudden this would keep going, and then that would branch out, and then that would keep going. So it's kind of like that almost, right?
Absolutely, like a tree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's a great visual for it.
Thanks, man.
You know, dude, I'm always here to support you, bro.
Thanks, man.
all-
This is what it's like.
Yeah.
This is what we're like.
Yes.
Hey, man, you want to start a podcast? You want to start a podcast in this podcast?
That's another tree, bro, right there.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What should we call our podcast?
The Beanie Bros. Come on.
Hey, Peyton, you want to produce it?
We already know what's up.
All producing for it has to be done during this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah, so easy.
Alex, can you post right now?
Yeah, got
Thanks.
it. I'm making the Instagram right now.
Thank you.
Brand new. Take a
Podcast
picture.
within a pod. Dude, that's actually kind of nuts when you think about it.
Yeah.
That might work. People listen to a podcast to listen to another podcast.
Yeah, two for one, dude.
Yeah.
Two birds with one
They
stone.
hate the first podcast, but the podcast within the podcast, big fans.
I'm not joking right now. No one's done that.
Yeah. You are absolutely right.
I actually don't.
Eddie. Eddie, I know Eddie's listening to this right now. Eddie, he's the head of Adobe. Eddie, listen, what do you think of doing a podcast within the podcast?
Why are you shouting at him?
I want him to hear me.
Okay.
What do you think, Eddie? A show within a show. Let us know.
That rhymed, dude.
That did rhyme. Maybe it's
It's
a
a sign.
rhyming.
It's a sign.
I got excited. I get excited when nobody's done anything. It's a brand new idea.
Magic.
Yeah,
It's a
magic.
magical feeling.
Magic.
Magic. Let it be. Magic.
I gotta say, one of my favorite things about having been rolling with you at Little Tokyo Fight Club is I've seen you turn it up on people sometimes, and I've seen you after you've demolished somebody come back and sit down, and you're like, hey. Yeah. I feel like your aura gained about 1,000 points.
Oh, it's, I'm not gonna lie, it feels great, and I think when you look back too on like when you started out, you know what I mean? It's like it becomes like that rite of passage thing where, it's okay to feel good about it because like, oh, I was so bad then, and I'm, when I go up against another belt, I'm still so bad now. You know what I mean? It's a humbling sport, and I think you got to take the wins when you can.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of them.
No, very few wins. More distress, if anything. I just I was thinking about it yesterday too when I was rolling around. It's just it's such a crazy journey so far when I look back on the jiu-jitsu stuff too, just because it was a lot of newer. I saw some newer people there yesterday that were like white belts, and
I killed them.
and it was it's just crazy too, because I've gotten to a point where it's like when I roll with them, it's like newer students, I just try to like do different things now, where it's like maybe I'm not even attacking like the finish. I'm just trying to be like, oh, how long can I stay on your back, like. Because I feel like if you're able to like get yourself into those positions and be on someone's back and they can't get you off, I feel like that's such a powerful position to be in, because for just life stuff too. Obviously, if anything happened out in the street, it's like if I can hold a position, that's what I'd prefer to do than anything. I don't want to hurt anybody, you know. I'd rather be able to like hold a position until that person like calms down, or like authorities get involved and can break it up. But
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. I'm trying to play like different games.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
You also do surfing, and you're back into running a lot, which I saw.
Yeah.
And I've got a weird question to ask you.
Bring it.
And this is going to go out to everybody else here, because I'm going to take in a little poll.
Right on.
Okay? Taking a little poll.
I like that.
Okay?
Take the poll.
Take a poll. Okay? It's voting season. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of polls right now. Okay, you surf.
This.
If you, the night before, had a dream you were surfing and got attacked by a shark, would you go out surfing that next morning? And you want to be close to the mic. Sorry, Peyton was going like this.
Thank you, Peyton.
I'm sorry.
I think I would. I think I would be exercising caution because I believe dreams are powerful. But the dream of me being eaten by the shark could be the shark eating my fear. You know, you just never know how to interpret different dreams. But I think that getting out there, I've experienced not a lot, but a handful of times I've seen some sharks out there, like swim under my thing or whatever. But they're like not that big, and if I ever saw like the face of a great white shark, like coming out, that would really probably shake me. But just seeing the silhouette, I think under the water is not that scary to me, and I've experienced that a couple times, and I've gotten out of the water, but I've been like, oh gosh, and it shakes me up a little bit, obviously, but I don't know. I don't know.
I love your answer. You're like, I saw the silhouette. It didn't shake me. I got out of the water.
Yeah,
it shook me a little bit.
It did. It shook me a little bit. But like, I mean, it doesn't shake me to the point where I'm like, I'm not gonna get back in. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm like, I might take off for the day or for a few hours, but I think that for me, it's just a natural thing. They're out there, you know. They're out there, and most of the times they're out there, and we don't even see them, and they're right under us. You know, it's pretty crazy.
You ever do it with dolphins? Surf with dolphins?
Oh yeah, dude. It's been mad. I've had some magical sessions where like me to you, dude, all of a sudden it just comes right up, and I'm like, whoa. It's just, yeah, I've been really fortunate. Like right where I'm at, especially on the California coast, there's such a drop off right away. So we don't have like kind of on the East Coast, they have those like sandbars that kind of go out far, but we have that intense drop off, and so it's like not very far out from like off of Malibu. You know, if you have ever been to Zuma Beach?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, if you ever walk out there, like, I mean, you realize like, oh gosh, it's very steep very quickly, and that's why there's like humpback whales. I mean, I've seen humpback whales just a few hundred yards out.
Sorry. She got me off guard. I don't know if you heard her.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
You're like, I don't know if you've ever been to Zuma Beach, and she goes, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I was in it. I'm just listening. Sometimes I'm just in it. Okay.
Yes. Tapped in.
Yeah, I have.
Well, yeah, I brought you back to a
Yes, you
to a
did.
memory. You're like, beautiful beach. That's awesome.
I'll just see myself out.
Oh, it's so nice. Okay, yeah. Well, let's go to the rest of the panel here. Alex,
Sorry.
let's say you had a dream. You were coming into the podcast studio, and then and you were the first one here, and a homeless guy was in the studio, and he tried to rob you. Would you come into the studio the next day, or would you
Yeah.
exercise caution?
No, I'd come in.
You'd come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that one's a little bizarre.
Okay, fair. Peyton, what if like you had a dream you were
Yes.
editing something and your computer blew up?
Yes.
Okay.
I keep, yeah,
You keep doing it?
I keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay, so the shark thing is very specific then.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say an equal thing would be like when I was younger and I was on theater so much and I'd dream I'd forget the lines. Is that going to stop me? No. Do I think I maybe need to become more comfortable with that scene and that's why I dreamt that? Maybe. I don't know.
I've never forgotten a line in my dream. I'm a professional actor.
And you've never just showed up to a set that you never had a script for?
Never.
In a dream?
No.
No.
It was off book.
I am perfection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Peyton, you had something to say?
Wait, what's the question?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
Having a good old time. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. That would freak me out, honestly. If I had a dream about something I was doing the next day, I'd still probably do it though.
Yeah. That's 4 yeses, dude. That's a
Yeah,
good,
what a divisive poll you
that's
got.
a
Right
great, that's a
here.
great survey right
Yeah.
there. 100% accuracy.
Well, I majored in surveys.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm in a lot of debt.
Thank you very much.
$100,000.
Oh man.
Oh, dude. Devastating Halloween for me.
Oh no.
Devastating.
No.
I was actually depressed.
Oh no.
And I get excited. I buy too much candy, and I'm really excited to give it out to kids. Not a single kid showed up at the door.
I'm sorry. That's heart crushing.
I waited for 45 minutes.
Oh man. I think I had that happen to me a few years ago too. Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago that happened to me too. It's so sad.
You got to move to Magnolia Park.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You got to move to Magnolia Park if you want trick-or-treaters.
Toluca Lake, Studio City, behind Aroma Cafe. It's really popular.
Oh yeah, I bet it is over there.
Um,
Dang.
It's a really popular area.
I just don't think you're a hot spot.
Thank you.
You're no host still, right?
And then trunk or treating has got in the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. They've been doing that here too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's good.
Dang, I like leaning, bro.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You can pull the mic towards you
Yeah.
and lean back.
Did you get more tattoos? Wait a minute.
Just this one. I
Oh.
think maybe I was wearing a long sleeve last time. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it in a while.
I know.
Seen your arms in a while. I missed your arms. Miss his arms, guys. Yeah, it was really bad, man. I that's one of my favorite things to do is to hand out candy to trick or treaters because I like to just they a lot of them are respectful. They just try to take one and I'm like go for it, go
Yeah.
for it, and I'm just
Crush it.
yeah. I gave a kid in Costco. You know what? In Costco, I did saw a kid. I just bought in the bag of candy. Saw a kid in a Mario outfit. The little girl in a princess
Done.
outfit. And I just started, and the parents were like, "Okay, that's enough."
Like stop. You're like I'll watch me open the bag. It's okay. It's all safe. That's very good. You exercised. That was perfect. And you did it at Costco. Nice and safe place.
Yeah, plenty of people around.
Yeah.
Isn't that sucks? Like you have to like.
Well, now it sounds like you're trying to make an alibi for yourself.
Right.
You're like, I'm safe.
That's just, well, there's a comedian who talks about that. He's like, I like kids, but thanks to like predators, like I can't go up to and be like, hey. You know, I have to be with like my wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Totally.
Just weird, some random guy. It's the world we live in, Nathan.
Yeah. It's crazy world out here, man.
All right,
Wild West.
we good?
I mean, we can.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break.
Wait.
Oh, look at that. Hey, Nathan, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll continue on this wonderful conversation, if that's cool with you.
Let's do it.
Peyton, Alex, you guys ready to take the break?
I am so ready to take this break.
Ready. Yes.
All right.
Am I smiling enough? Was it calm enough?
That's kind of sarcastic. We'll talk about it during the break. All right. We'll be right back. And we're back. How's everybody doing?
That was a great break.
That was great.
That was a
good.
nice break.
So
Feel good.
peaceful.
It felt
So
legit.
peaceful.
Needed that.
Eddie, are you still listening?
2-in-1 podcast.
I still think that's an amazing idea. Okay. You've done live shows, correct?
Yes.
What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you during a live show?
Oh, I would say I'm gonna go back to probably one of the first performances actually that I ever had, and this is the trauma story, bro.
What?
A little bit of a trauma. So it was right when I started playing, like when I first started performing live, and I probably had been playing the guitar for like 3 years at this point. I was this competition in Arizona called Hot Pipes, and it basically I did the first show, and it was like essentially they were kind of like not cattle collie, but like it was just like they got a bunch of people in there and they're trying to like weed everyone out for this final performance that was going to take place. And so I went in there, got it, first place the first time. So I was like, oh, cool. And that obviously was awesome. And then throughout the weeks, as they were like continuing to weed out other people, they were like, oh, you can come perform, like be one of the performers. I was like, oh, cool, like great experience. And I was just like kept doing it for like, I think it was like 4 weeks long. And then the big show came, and I think it was at the Phoenix Theater, and felt so good. I went down, like there was like the downstairs like green room was this awesome big theater, and I was like, oh, this is it, man. I'm like 12 years old, and I'm like, this is sick. And so I'm downstairs, and like hours are passing. It was a long show, and then they come and get me. They're like, all right, Nathan, it's time to go. It's like, okay. So I go upstairs and I'm waiting, and I'm just seeing this one girl, and she's just ripping vocals like insane for like her age too. I think she had like opera, like an operatic background. Her voice was like insane, and I was like, oh wow, she's awesome. And it wasn't like I feel like when I was younger, I had like an interesting control on my nerves already, where it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, that's sick. Like she's killing it, and I was just like excited to get out there and do it. And as I'm walking out, I had like my guitar, the head of my guitar where like the tuning is, it just hits like this like pole, I think, as I'm walking out, because it was pretty dark, and it just goes boom. And in my head, my heart sunk, because I was like, oh, that totally probably put it out of tune. And so I walk out there and I just go, I usually always will like strum one chord. I still do it to this day. Just like strum one chord before, just to like make sure everything's good. I'm going boom, 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 boom. And I was like, okay. And I didn't have the stage presence at that time to just like, now I'd make a joke of it. I'd be like, ooh. I was like, I don't want to torture y'all. Give me a second here. Let me tune it up. Didn't have the stage presence. I was like, I'm so screwed. And so I played through the entire song, and I was like, maybe I'll try not to hit that high E chord. And I just kept hitting it. And I was singing the song, and I just was hearing it, and I was like, oh my God. The whole time my heart was just like, you blew it. And then I learned what pity clap was. Because everyone at the end's like, woo! And I'm like, no, save it. But I just walked off, and I was like, man, because I felt like I sang it pretty well, but it doesn't even matter. It's like, you don't even have to, it's done. And then Pity Award, they still gave me like third place of like the entire thing. And I was like, no, I don't deserve that. Because it was like, I mean, yes, I had been performing up until that point. So I think they saw like, oh, like you're good. But I was like, no, that was the night, that someone else probably deserved it more than I did. But yeah, that it's crazy, because that experience, I was like, that's never going to happen again. And, I think it's so important to have those experiences. I think that everyone does it in some kind of way, like where you think you got it, but it's like, no, you don't got it. And I think that kind of just keeps happening. And I was laughing about this the other day, because I just thought about this story. And I was like, man, I thought in that moment that would be the last time I'd ever screw up or do anything like that. And it couldn't have been more far from the truth. Like when I was on tour, I did a tour with my old band Harlotson, and we actually opened up for Sabrina Carpenter on her first headlining tour a few years ago. And there was a similar situation where I had my capo on the like the first fret, but it connected to my guitar strap. And so I didn't see that it clasped down on my guitar strap on the end, because it was so dark when we were walking out. And I'm just hitting the wrong chords. I'm like, nope, this is right. Everything's in the right position. What's going on? And everyone's looking, like my other bandmates are looking at me like, what's going on? I'm like, what is going on? And then at the end of the song, I'm like, oh, it was literally clasped down on the freaking thing. So it's like, you're always going to make mistakes. And I think that it's important to just kind of like, but in that moment, I just laid off. I just didn't even play. I just faked like I was playing the guitar, just moving my fingers onto the right chords. But it took those experiences to kind of get me to that point where I was able to go, okay, I'm just going to not play the guitar, because otherwise it's going to sound horrific for this whole entire song. So it's pretty insane. But yeah, that's my story.
Damn. That's tough. The pity clap thing really gets me.
Brutal.
And then the pity award.
Worse.
I'd rather you guys have booed me.
Yeah.
Or, like, seriously, I would have been okay with that.
For
more
real.
Than that.
Some character building.
In my acting classes that I teach,
Yeah.
I don't tell them like nice work if they've really sucked.
Yeah.
And they were struggling. I tell them things learned, moving forward. That's it. I'm not going to tell you nice work when it wasn't nice work, or
For
good
sure.
job. That's terrible. I think the good job thing I got from whiplash is like the two most detrimental words in the English language. Good job.
Yeah.
When it's not a good job,
No, for sure.
that creates a false sense of reality for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And I think that's just we live in such an enabling culture with that kind of mentality of just like everyone gets a trophy. But I feel like, when I was growing up, I played like competitive soccer, and not everyone got a trophy. And when we didn't, we trained harder, and it pushed us harder. I think it's like, it is that character building that I think everyone needs. And it's like, it kind of goes back to even like the music thing, where it's like, it's not gonna come easy. You have to know that, like, if you gotta work so hard, and then work harder than you even imagine to really like land where you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, literally told one of my students that yesterday. I told them, when you get to the point where you're like, I've done a lot of work for this. This is good.
Yeah.
I want you to double that.
Yeah.
And then when you've done that, look back and go, oh my gosh. Then go further.
Yeah.
And then bring that into class.
Absolutely.
Because where you're at now is nowhere near where it needs to be. And it's really amazing. I think it's just the process too for the actor and the artist, where you're like, oh, this is good. This is good enough. This is good. Or this is a lot. Wow, great.
Right.
But there's just so much more you can go. But there's an opposite. There's a double edge to that. When do you know a song is done? Because my brother is going. Like, I've talked to my brother about that. When do you stop fine tuning something? Because I know some editors are like that. Some actors are like with self tapes. So for you, when do you know a song is donezo?
Man, that's hard. I think that, especially as a creative, it's like I feel for your brother, because it's like, you want it to be right. You want it to be like the best it can be, and I think that changes every day and every listen. It's every time you listen to the song, you're like, you might hear something else. You're like, oh, that could be better. That could be better. So I just have realized, I'm like, you just gotta like get it to the point where sonically it sounds very comfortable to you. And for me, it's more like, I just want to make sure the vocal is shining through, that people can understand the words that are being said, and that the music, what's the word I was looking for? It begins with a C. It complements the voice. So that's it. It just needs to be all the levels need to be right. And then once that's done, great. I think it's a great song. That's my biggest like critiques that I listen to when like, we're going through like the mixes and like fine tuning it, and taking notes, is just making sure that everything and all the levels are very good. And once that's good, I feel pretty satisfied. It's just I can tell that's like my biggest pet peeve with songs, is that like when the vocal's really tucked and all you hear is like the music. And you can hear a lot of actually successful artists, sometimes that's the vibe. They're like, I like that when the voice isn't really heard. But for me, like, I really care about the lyrics, I want people to understand what's being said, for the most part. But everyone's got like different ideas, I think, of what feels right and what that moment is when you're like, that's it. And I think within like the songwriting process for me, when I know like it's done, is usually kind of what I was saying earlier. It's like, I find that like the songs I like the best that I've written are the ones that I wrote in like one sitting, where it just like bled out of me, like boom, done. I have a real hard time like starting and then stepping away and coming back to the same song, just because it's like I feel like the moment's passed in a way. Sometimes I'm able to pull it off and I'm able to go back if I really, really enjoyed it. But I feel like, yeah, the best stuff for me is like really once I know I've like sat down and just got it all done, I'm like, there's like that like relief for me. I'm like, that's it.
That's really cool. That actually parallels a little bit with my self-tapes now. And a while ago, and again, something I share with students, stop worrying about getting it right. Stop worrying about like, I have to get this right. There is no right. Yeah. It's about truthful, about it being convincing. And I think with self-tapes, it's like, it's never going to be perfect.
Totally.
And so I think it's important to figure out whether your product is good. All right. We're just going to switch gears here. So I got a question for you. Why January 17th for this? Why does it take so long?
So I think that we were deciding that a few months ago of do we release into the fall, and usually around this time is kind of when everything's kind of closing down in the music world. Everyone's like kind of they've heard their fair share of music for the year in terms of like the business side with like labels and stuff like that. And so we wanted to just kind of start fresh, and this whole shift in direction to and really finding the sound that I wanted to put out and put forward. And it in itself is kind of like a new start. So I think it's just, it's kind of a cool thing to start in the year. It's the new year, new me. New year, new me.
That's a nice accent.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about
Is
it.
that surfer? Oh, okay. We don't have to talk about it. You can imagine you just get up and leave. We're like,
Well, I'm gone, bro. No, yeah, we just wanted to start there, just because it's first quarter, just again that kind of business side of things, where we just want to kind of give a strong push into the new year, and yeah, I think January 17th, everyone's kind of back from holiday and getting back into gear and looking for good music.
January 17th, is that the inauguration day or is that the 19th? 17th? For some reason, January 17th sounds like that inauguration day of when...
Oh, man. We need to... I need to call somebody.
20th.
Oh, 20th.
So you're good.
Good, thank God. That would have been brutal. I need to get on the phone a stat. Oh,
Hey,
funny.
can we just shift it a day or two?
Yeah. Give it a month. Oh man, but yeah, man, I think that it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
Really good to catch up with you. I'll see you on the mat soon. If people want to check out your music, it's just Nathan Harrington on Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah, Nathan Harrington, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok,
Awesome.
everywhere.
Are you still teaching yoga?
Yeah.
Awesome. Where can they go to check out your schedule?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, I'll post on Instagram as well under the Nathan Harrington music for now. And then also just yoganoho.com too if you want to book a class.
Awesome.
Come
man.
hang.
That's really awesome. Hey, team. Thank you guys. Good seeing you. Always appreciate you.